Jim wrote in saying, hey, do you guys prefer reading from a Kindle or actual book? Will electronic readers such as the Kindle replace books in the near future? I've spoken about this with many people, and I've said before on the show that I still like physical paper books. There's a couple different things going on. Number one, I read a lot at night before I go to bed. And the idea of sitting in bed with an electronic tablet, I just don't like the idea of it. It seems way more calming to me to be there with a physical book. And maybe I'm starting to be part of the generation that is unable to adapt to a new technology. And I totally get the minimalist aspect of I could replace my hundreds of books with a single tablet and free up so much space. I like physically holding the book to some extent. And I don't know, I'm sure that eventually we are going to have a smaller and smaller percentage of books being read as physical books. There's no doubt about it. When will I transition? I don't know.
And then there's things like battery life. I'm very bad at thinking ahead. So if I'm going on a long trip or something, I want to bring a book with me and not a Kindle because I may forget to charge it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like these things have been around for over a decade now. If they were going to replace books almost entirely, I think that would have happened by now. I mean, I think that bookstores would have gone the way of places like Blockbuster, and maybe to some extent they are, but I think Barnes & Noble is still going strong.
A lot of local bookstores are going out of business. There's no doubt about that.
But it could just be because people are reading less rather than just the new technology.
It's possible. I don't know what the data is on whether people are actually reading more or less. I am realistic, okay, Jim? I mean, I get that I don't... over time, you're going to see more and more reading happening in digital formats. Not to mention, eventually, we're probably going to have contact lenses that are connected to some device and actually just project what we're reading right in front of us. I mean, we're on the cusp of that technology becoming going prototype more and more already. So I get that just holding a paper book, it's so unlikely that in 100 years, you're still going to see the same number of paper books being read by people. But for the time being, I feel like I'm resisting. This is a way in which I'm sort of a Luddite.
You know what else I like is when you're reading a book, you can see how many pages you have left. So you can see, all right, I'm halfway through the story,
Yeah.
and I've accomplished this much. I have a whole chunk that I've gotten through. I mean, I kind of like that. And just seeing the numbers on a Kindle doesn't do the same thing for me.
Well, but most of those Kindles do show you like the percentage of the book that you've read.
It's not the same.
It doesn't feel the same
Yeah.
way for you. All right. And who doesn't like the smell of a newly printed book, you know?
Or an old book that starts to get yellow and red on the sides.
We have one here. But you know what? I don't even going to tell the story, but we have a book that was sent to us by a viewer. If you smell it, it just smells like cigarettes. So clearly it was held in the home of a smoker for a very, very long time. We've got the book quarantined in a double paper bag over there.
There's never been a
Plastic
better
bag.
argument for keeping old books the way they are.
Yes, yes, indeed. All right. Thank you to Jim. Thank you to Colleen. And thanks to Keisha. Bonus show is next. DavidPakman.com/membership to sign up. Coupon code I voted 17.